Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today, I've got another very exciting episode for all of you, and today we're going to be doing a countdown of the top 10 4K Ultra HD movie releases of the year so far for 2024. Now, this is an ongoing video series I've done for about 6-7 years now, and each year in the middle of the year, I do a halfway point countdown. And this is where I share the best of the 4K Ultra HD releases of the year, ones that are unique titles, some that I've reviewed, and compile them into this video to let you know about must-own 4K Ultra HD movie releases that everybody needs to have in their collection, because these are really outstanding titles of the year. Now, I could make this video hours long and go through like 30-40 titles, but I'm gonna be sticking to just a few honorable mentions and then the top 10 to let you know what all of these review score-wise, testing data, analysis, and then overall enjoyment of these 4K releases come out as the top 10 in this countdown. And let me tell you, there are a lot of these that are going to shock and surprise you, and I'm sure some of you don't own all of these in your collection. Now, it's always extremely important. Any of these you want to buy or add to your collection after you get done watching this top 10 countdown. I've put all of the direct Amazon sale links for each and every one of these as a pinned comment in the comment section right below this video. Those links down there never cost you even a penny extra to click on them, but simply by clicking on them, it shows your support of all of these videos I work hard to create for all of you every single week here on my channel. I'm not sponsored and I'm not paid by any of these studios, so I don't get anything back from the studios for compiling or creating any of these reviews. And the only way I can always continue to create all this content is with you, my viewers and subscribers' support, by always clicking on those direct Amazon sale links down there below. So if you've enjoyed this content and this content has helped you out over the years, always make sure to click on those direct Amazon sale links I pinned right down there below. Now, I spent a ton of time diving through all of my review scores and all of my lists, my testing data, and compiling this top 10 countdown to give you some really unique and amazing 4K releases you need to have in your collection. And these are all must-own, must-buy 4Ks. Well, when I was doing that, obviously I couldn't cover every one of them because it wouldn't be a top 10. So these few here are some honorable mentions that were really outstanding releases that just didn't make it into the top 10, but I just wanted to mention because they do deserve an honorable mention. Well, one of my favorite releases of the year was the CONAN Chronicles. Even though this movie collection is out of print, the collection, you can get each individual movie by itself still without any of the limited edition boxing or the limited edition contents in this, but the movie discs themselves are sold separately. I will pin those down below if you haven't gotten them yet and you haven't gotten either of the 4Ks. They are available in individual cases, but this limited edition movie collection was one of the coolest movie collections of the year. I loved the shiny metallic cover artwork. I loved the native 4K transfer, even though it did have some slight issues, especially with Dolby Vision HDR10. It wasn't perfect, but as a collection, it's a pretty dang cool 4K collection. And it had the thickest behind the scenes booklet included in this that I'd ever seen be released by Arrow Video before. And I loved that in this limited edition collection. And the fact that they included that awesome Dolby Atmos, this was one of those honorable mentions that just didn't make it into the top 10. Now, if you haven't checked out my full in-depth review and analysis, you can check that out on this channel. I did an exclusive 4K versus Blu Ray image comparison to let you know the quality of the 4K transfers on this compared to Universal's previous Blu Ray releases. But this is one of those that I really did enjoy. Now, another honorable mention is Chinatown from 1974 in this limited edition Paramount Presents collection. And I will tell you, I just recently reviewed this here on this channel. That video is available right now. I can tell you this has a native 4K transfer, both Dolby Vision HDR10 and a very strong and good Dolby True HD 5.1. I can tell you along with that, Paramount provided a rough average bitrate of 82 megabits per second, and for my review score for this, it got a 9.5. It was a stellar release. I very much enjoy this classic film from the 70s. It's a very noir crime film that is very good, and it got an amazing 4K release, and this has been one of those that a lot of folks have had a hard time getting a hold of. It does go in and out of stock, and this Chinatown limited edition 4K release is a must-buy, must-own 4K release. If you have not bought this yet and added it to your collection, you need to make sure you order it before it goes out of print. Now for my final honorable mention before we get into the countdown of the top 10 here is Crimson Peak, Guillermo del Toro's 2015 gothic horror masterpiece. I love the set pieces in this. I can tell you I did an exclusive 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison showing the difference between this brand new 4K transfer and the previous 1080p Blu-ray transfer. I can tell you Guillermo del Toro oversaw and supervised this entire release. It does have Dolby Vision, HDR10, and a reference quality DTS:X immersive audio mix. Now for this release, it did have a rough average bitrate of 84 megabits per second, and I gave it a review score of a 9.5. Another stellar 4K release that if you have not added this yet, this is a must-buy, must-own limited edition release. One of the coolest openings where it has a box and a book and everything inside here. If you want my full unboxing and review, you need to check out that review video because this is one of those you do not want to miss out on owning. Now coming in at number 10 in my top 10 countdown is The Ring 3-movie collection from 2002 to 2017. Now when I dived into and tested and reviewed these and did an image comparison, these are a native 4K 2160p and they do have Dolby Vision, HDR10, and DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and 7.1 audio mix. And I can tell you rough average bitrate wise, it had between 88 to 101 megabits per second between each of the 3 films in this box set. This is one of those horror trilogies that the first film is the best one, second one I do enjoy, and the third one's the weakest. Though I do like how the third one ties things back to the first one, and I wouldn't not want to have it. So I loved that they included all 3 films in this brand new 4K transfer on these. Is really stunning. And this is one of those horror trilogies that every horror fan needs to have in their movie collection. And this is the only way you should ever experience it ever again. I really think Scream Factory did an amazing job with this hard casing that I loved, putting all 3 films in individual 4K cases, and the transfers on these are just wonderful, and really you can see things in these you could never see before on the previous Blu-rays, which really added to the scare factor. Instead of having the black crush that some of the Blu-rays had, you can actually see things in the depth and detail in the image that actually brought more scare factor, especially with like coming out of the TV, there was just more gooiness on her arms and just the creepy factor that you could see. And I will tell you, I love the idea of that VHS style. Basically, there's something that's going to kill you coming from a VHS and throwback to basically a lot of the times you went to the VHS store. I remember as a kid going to Blockbuster and you'd find VHSs of horror movies that looked really creepy and scary. And you kind of imagine finding that kind of like The Ring and then there being like something horror coming from that. I always loved that element of the horror story in this that really just to me had such a cool creepy factor mixed with great nostalgia. I really love this series. And for this Ring 3-movie collection, I gave this a review score of a 9.5. Another must-buy, must-own release, which is the theme of this top 10 countdown. I love these movies and I'm so glad this got released in such a stunning 4K release. Now coming in at number 9 is 1990's Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now at the beginning of this I did talk about the CONAN Chronicles. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger films, that's why I had to talk about that one, but this one has a stunning 4K transfer that is a native 4K, and in my full in-depth review with my 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison, this one had a far better 4K transfer than what you got on the CONAN Chronicles. That's why it earned its spot at number 9. This does have Dolby Vision and HDR10, and this has a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 lossless audio mix that is very good. And I will tell you, this is one of those 90s comedies with Arnold Schwarzenegger that literally cannot be replicated nowadays. Going back and watching this again, I realized there was such good comedy elements. You could go as a family and watch this and with the kids mixed in with them, and then it has action adventure storyline in it as well. Such a great mixture that really isn't replicated nowadays. And it got a shockingly high, healthy, and strong rough average bitrate of 92 megabits per second. which lends to why the native 4K image is so stunning. And for my review score, this got a 9.5. And I'm hoping we get more Arnold Schwarzenegger films with 4K restorations like this on 4K. I really do hope we get End of Days and The Sixth Day. I love that sci-fi one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That one's really good. Heck, Eraser, I'd love that one as well. So many Arnold Schwarzenegger films that I'm hoping get as good a 4K release as this did. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down there, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Now, coming in at number 8 is James Cameron's Aliens from 1986. Now, I did a full in-depth analysis and review here on this channel, showing you in-depth, even zoomed in what the quality of this 4K release is versus the previous Blu-ray release. This brand new 4K transfer has both Dolby Vision and HDR10 on it, along with a brand new reference quality Dolby Atmos audio mix that is completely immersive and is worth the price of admission alone for this 4K release. I love this sci-fi film, and I will tell you, once you sit down and see the depth and detail in the image, especially if you haven't checked out my exclusive 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison review, that shows you exactly what the quality differences are. You'll be amazed at the details, and as I called it, the Pubes Edition, you'll notice things you never saw before, and that is why this is one of those that earned its spot on number 8 of my top 10 countdown of the year. And for its review score, it got a reference quality 9.6. This is another one of those reference quality 4K releases. You'll be shocked and surprised at how much you can really see and how immersive that Dolby Atmos is that sucks you into this film like it never did before. It feels like watching it for the first time all over again. Now, start the conversation in the comment section below and let me know what of these you already own, what of these you don't own, and that you're excited to add to your collection now. Start that conversation down there and let me know what of these are your favorite films and what of these are on your top 10 that you're thrilled were released on 4K this year. Now, coming in at number 7 is Dune Part 2. This is the 2024 sci-fi action adventure sequel, and it got a reference quality native 4K transfer, along with Dolby Vision, HDR10, and a reference quality immersive Dolby Atmos audio mix. The LFV on this will kick your butt. It is dang good and dang impressive. And in my original review that's available right now on this channel, this got a 59 megabits per second rough average bitrate, along with a reference quality review score of a 9.6. Another must-buy, must-own release. If you haven't bought or added any of these to your collection, I put the direct Amazon sale links for every one of these down below. So make sure if you're going to buy or add any of these to your collection, make sure to use those links down there below. That's very important to the creation of these videos. But I can tell you, the limited edition SteelBook has been sold out, but the standard edition is still available. And this is one of those, if you haven't checked out Dune Part 1, you need to get Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2. I'll put them both down there as links down there below. But it is one of those epic sci-fi universes that I love the original David Lynch Dune, but since Dune Part 2's come out, I actually think this is going in such a grander scope that I really enjoy this even more so now. And I am looking forward to Dune Part 3. I'm actually extremely excited for that. Now, coming in at number 6 is 2011's Contagion. Now, in my original review, I shared this got a brand new 4K restoration and a native 4K 2160p transfer. It has a brand new HDR10 master, along with a very good DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mix. This also had a high, healthy, and strong 68 megabits per second, and I gave it a review score for its reference quality image of a 9.6. This is one of those that I did not expect to look as stunning as it does. It's like looking out of a clean glass window. It's just one of those wow, shocking experiences. Now, I do think the film itself holds up very well today, especially after living through, obviously, the pandemic and things. Man, there's so many things in this that it actually is kind of more of a true story horror experience, that there's so many things that actually happened that we lived through, that this film came out way before that and predicted so many of the things that happened. It really does have a different feeling watching it now, and I actually like it even more. The ensemble cast on this is stellar. You get Matt Damon, you get Lawrence Fishburne, you get Jude Law, you get Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Winslet, and that is just to name a few. It's a who's who of massive actors that really provide the kind of authenticity you want in a film, where you feel like there's so many things going on, so many different storylines that all tie together in a really creepy horror experience that feels true to life, especially after what we all lived through. And I will tell you, this is a reference quality 4K release that you will absolutely be shocked at the image quality. Now, coming in at number 5 is Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13. These were one of those that I did not think Warner Brothers was going to provide as amazing of a 4K restoration as they did. When I dived into and tested these in my review, I was really shocked at how beautiful of a 4K transfer they provided. And they are a native 4K 2160p. And they do have a brand new HDR10 color grading in master. And that's what you'll notice in my image comparison review, is how massive an improvement that brand new color grading they did. Depth and detail is amazing on these. And they provided one of the best and most immersive DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mixes that I've heard all year, because they did a brand new restoration of the audio mix as well. And it is one of the best and top tier DTS HD Master Audio lossless mixes that you'll hear all year. All 3 of these films got reference quality 4K restorations, and the rough average bit rates for all 3 of these films got a shockingly high, healthy, and strong 83 to 88 megabits per second between all 3 of the films, and it got a reference quality review score of a 9.6 from me. If you want to know more about these, more testing data, as well as the image comparisons, you'll want to check out my review. Another must-buy, must-own releases, and I'll put the trilogy down below. There is a trilogy box set, as well as the individual releases if you haven't gotten these yet, but you'll be shocked at what you see on these, because these are one of those I go back to year after year. They are such fun crime comedy caper movies with an amazing ensemble cast that honestly nowadays we never see films like this. The amount of actors they brought together that all play together so well off of each other, and there's such good comedy that continues through each of the films, that I really wouldn't want to miss out on any of these, that I'm glad they did the trilogy instead of just the first film. I'm glad they released them all together. Now, coming in at number 4, this title just got in under the wire, and it just came out here recently, is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, this sci-fi action-adventure sequel just came out here in 2024, and I didn't get to view it until I got it on 4K. I can tell you, after testing and reviewing this, this has a reference quality native 4K transfer that is stunning from beginning to end. There's no banding, blocking, digital noise, no issues whatsoever, and it has one of the most detailed 4K transfers I've seen in a while. Sony provided a reference quality native 4K transfer with Dolby Vision and HDR10, along with another massive treat in the reference quality Dolby Atmos audio mix. The immersion of what that Dolby Atmos audio mix has going on with things through your height channels all around you, the range on it is phenomenal. The LFE on it, the bass response, everything is amazing on it. And I was shocked and surprised at how amazing of a job they did with this release. Now, film-wise, it's not the strongest of the Ghostbusters films, but I really did enjoy it watching it. I actually went back and watched it a second time because I wanted to see my experience a second time, and I enjoyed it even a little bit more. It's one of those that I do think builds upon the legacy, the nostalgia of the original Ghostbusters, obviously mixing in the new cast from kind of more the reboot, restart of the universe, and I do like those elements as well. And along with that, it has a rough average bitrate that is extremely high, healthy, and shockingly strong, 86 megabits per second, lends to why it has such a wow experience from beginning to end. And for this 4K release, my review score is a reference quality 9.7. Must buy, must own 4K release if you like the Ghostbusters at all. You got to do yourself a favor and add this to your collection. Now, I will put the limited edition SteelBook, which will eventually sell out, as well as the standard 4K release down below. Same transfer, same quality, it's just this is the limited edition SteelBook. Now, if you've noticed, I do have them in my SteelBook protectors. I love these things, and I did review them here on this channel. If you haven't checked out that review video, I dived into the best and the cheapest deal for SteelBook protectors and compared them from 10 different companies in that video to let you know what ones are the best quality and the cheapest deal, so you can protect all of your collection, including your slipcovers and your limited edition steelbooks, for dirt cheap. And let me tell you, you want to check out that video so you know exactly about the deal and what's the best quality. And I'll tell you, I love these things. It protects all my steelbooks, so that way they stay nice for years to come and it doesn't get all chipped up and scratched up. This got a reference quality 9.7, and I absolutely love this release. The Dolby Atmos mix on it is worth the price of admission alone, let alone that reference quality image is really just a stunner. Now, coming in at number 3 in my top 10 countdown is Matinee from 1993. The Joe Dante sci-fi comedy, really just is wonderful feeling film. I just recently reviewed this here on this channel, and I can tell you between the 4K and the previous Blu Ray, this is a reference quality native 4K transfer. That is another one of those, and let me just say, stunning, jaw-dropping 4K transfers that from beginning to end, you will be shocked at what you see, even compared to the previous Blu Ray. You've got to check out my previous 4K versus Blu Ray image comparison. And I can tell you, for this reference quality native 4K transfer, it has Dolby Vision and HDR10 Master, along with an extra special treat. They gave us a brand new reference quality Dolby Atmos audio mix. The range, the immersion, the great LFE, and all of the things that they implemented using your height channels throughout it as well, shocked and surprised me. I wish that Shout Factory and Scream Factory would do more of those Dolby Atmos audio mixes on more of their 4K releases, because after hearing what they did on this release, I want every single release with that good of a Dolby Atmos audio mix. Now, for the rough average bitrate on this release, it also got a shockingly high, healthy, and strong 87 megabits per second, and for its review score, it got a reference quality 9.7. Must own, must buy 4K release. Simply annihilates every previous home video release of this film. This is the only way you should ever experience this film ever again. And this is the final iteration I ever see us getting of this film. There's nothing that I could see them saying that they'll ever go back and do again with this, because we got such a reference quality image and reference quality Dolby Atmos. Man, this is one of those that was a real treat, and I didn't expect, and was a real surprise that I was glad was released on 4K, because it was such a nice upgrade and improvement that in every area of this, it was worth the money and for the price of admission. Now, coming in at number 2 is Guy Ritchie's 2024 The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare on 4K Ultra HD. This biographical true story with comedy elements really did surprise me how enjoyable of a film it is, let alone it got a reference quality native 4K transfer with HDR10 and an immersive and reference quality Dolby Atmos audio mix. Lionsgate is one of the best in the game for Dolby Atmos audio mixes. They really do a good job with the mix, basically giving great range, LFE, using the height channels consistently throughout it to immerse you into the film so you feel like you're sitting in the middle of this war film. And let me tell you, if you like war films that are more on the lighter side, not too much with like body limbs flying everywhere, but more or less the action, the comedy, the really engrossing story, this is one of those you need to check out. Now, I do have both editions here, and I will tell you, this is the slipcover edition, and this is the limited edition steelbook. I reviewed both of these on this channel, and I will tell you, I love the limited edition steelbook. I do like the slipcover edition, but not as much as this limited edition steelbook. It is really cool how it comes apart, and it has a slipcover with actually pieces of the artwork on it. Now, along with the amazing audio, they also gave us a shockingly high, extremely healthy, and extremely strong 91 megabits per second rough average bitrate. It is one of those that, depending on which case you want, it's the exact same transfer, the exact same audio quality in both of these cases. It's just whether you collect limited edition or standard releases, and I'll put the direct links for both of these down below. Now, in my previous review, I gave this a reference quality review score of a 9.7. Image and sound quality you will absolutely love from beginning to end. There wasn't a single issue I encountered, sound or image quality. It's literally pristine from beginning to end. It's like looking out a glass window that is perfectly clean. You've got to add this experience, that Dolby Atmos that immerses you into it, and it's a very good true story as well. It's one of those, I love when they find things about World War II that basically this was declassified in 2016. So now they were able to make it into a movie, and let me tell you, I love World War II films, and this is one of those I'm going to go back to year after year and enjoy, and I'm thrilled it has a reference quality 4K release. Now getting to my number one in my top 10 countdown. Now this is the halfway point for 2024. So we have obviously the next half that then I'll do my countdown for the end of the year at the end of the year. But this is halfway point, and this title is going to surprise you. When I did all my testing and analysis on this, I couldn't believe what I saw and what I heard. So coming in at number one is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, the 2022 stop-motion animated film that is simply a masterpiece to behold. And I will tell you, from beginning to end of this native 4K transfer, along with Dolby Vision, HDR10 Master, and English Dolby Atmos, both image and sound are reference quality from beginning to end, not a single issue. Pristine looking and immersive with that Dolby Atmos mix that is crystal clear. This easily earned its top spot as the number one 4K Ultra HD release, image and sound quality for the year so far. And rough average bitrate wise, this had a stunningly high, extremely strong, and shockingly healthy 94 megabits per second, a jaw-dropping experience. From the second you put this in and start watching it, the crystal clarity of things moving around, birds chirping and flying overhead, leaves rustling around you and flying around, little rocks crumbling on the ground, and all of the range and beautiful sights you can see in the stop motion puppets. It really is one of those you sit there just like, I mean, honestly, my jaw did drop to the floor with this release. It was one of those, both me and my wife were sitting there like, just wow. For a stop-motion film, Criterion Collection pulled out all of the stops. Guillermo del Toro himself oversaw and supervised and approved this 4K transfer and Dolby Atmos audio mix. He wanted to make sure it presented the best viewing experience, and let me tell you, it is one of those you must have in your collection. If you like stop-motion films even a tiny bit, you must have this in your collection and experience this 4K release. Coming in at number one, this one for its review score. For this masterpiece, it gets a 9.8 must buy, must own, reference quality 4K Ultra HD release. I absolutely love this release. And let me tell you, it is one of those Criterion Collection releases with a pretty darn cool packaging. It actually comes with a slipcover on it. And Pinocchio himself, his nose, which you have to be gentle with, wraps around the casing, which I think is really cool. And then when you get inside here, you have your 4K discs here, obviously, and your Blu Ray, but it came with a very nice booklet. And inside this, it talks about all the restoration, all of behind the artwork, and obviously how they did the stop motion, and I really enjoyed this booklet. So if you have not added this to your collection yet, I've put that direct Amazon sale link down there below. And let me tell you right now, Criterion Collections are on sale. This is the time you need to buy this. They only go on sale maybe 2-3 times each year. Right now, as of making this video, it's on sale right now for one of the few sales they have every year for Criterion Collection. This is one of those titles you have to have in your collection and experience it. You'll be blown away, and it's one of those that I show off my home theater system with because it's such a stunning reference quality release for the image. That depth and detail that you can see on the puppets is so surprising. You can see like all of the little hairs they have on it, like on the beard, the little cuts in the puppets, and obviously the clay and the colors and the paint and the clothing and the sewing. And I could go on all day because this was one of those that I did not expect it to look this good. Easily earned its spot at number one. Let me know in the comment section below, how excited are you for some of these releases? What of these do you own? Let me know, are you excited to add some of these to your collection that you don't have yet? Now, it's always extremely important if you're gonna buy or add any of these to your collection, always use those direct Amazon sale links I posted right down there below. Those links down there never cost you anything extra, but that's how I can continue to create all this content. I'm not paid and I'm not sponsored by any of these studios, but I work hard every week and put my heart and soul into every one of these videos to share with all of you the love of collecting physical media, of enjoying movies and TV series, and I love doing this with all of you every week. But it's always extremely important that you support these videos by using those direct Amazon sale links down there below and joining my Collectors VIP Club. Collector's VIP Club only costs you, the viewer, a couple of bucks every month. Less than the price of a pack of gum, to be honest. And it does drastically make a difference in me being able to test, analyze, spend all this time doing special effects, music, and creating these massive videos. So if you enjoy this content and this content helps you out all the time, make sure to always support these videos by always clicking on those direct Amazon sale links down there below and joining my Collector's VIP Club. I do want to share a message with all of my supporters, and I want to tell you thank you, because I really have appreciated all of you reaching out to me. And I really hate all of the negativity of this world, and I try to keep things positive and focused on enjoying entertainment and physical media. And that's what this channel is all about. It's sharing that love, and I share my heart with all of you every week. When I pour my heart out, I truly mean it when I say thank you to every one of you. And it really does mean the world to me that I get to do this because of my health issues, my severe chronic nerve damage and pain that I live in. Trigeminal neuralgia really makes a difference. Me getting to do this and share this with all of you every week really do matter to me and my family. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and from my family, they wanted me to say thank you for them as well. It truly does mean the world to all of us, and I got so much more exciting stuff coming for all of you. As always, I truly hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.